Our friends at Midas Touch tweet, presidents for decades have promised upgrades to America's roads, bridges, rails, and pipes, but talk is cheap. President Biden and Democrats delivered on that and more. It is up to us to scream it from the rooftops every single day. Yes. Done. I'm done. I'm officially done with the mainstream media. We'll do it ourselves, right?
Get out of the way. Yeah.
Yes,
Fair.
with fantastic representatives like Representative Troy Carter from the great state of Louisiana, who sits on the House Transportation Committee in his very first appearance. Good morning, Representative.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be with you.
Thanks so much for coming. Well, we were just talking about Katrina, and you, like all the rest of us, I remember back during that time watching these pictures from around the world of our levees and levees around the world, and on with infrastructure. Isn't it amazing, particularly for you, to think, oh my God, we're finally addressing this with infrastructure?
No doubt about it. For a state like Louisiana that suffers from hurricanes every year, we know they're coming. We don't know the intensity. We don't know how many, but we know they're coming. And this opportunity to literally build back better is a great opportunity, once in a lifetime. So us in Louisiana are very, very happy and very pleased to finally have what's been talked about for many, many years be a reality.
Yeah, I mean,
true infrastructure.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I remember that is seared in my memory, looking at, what levees look like around the world compared to ours in Louisiana. I remember when the bridge fell in Minneapolis. I mean, the bridge that President Biden was on yesterday. Wait, let's take a listen. He was, let's see.
3.
Yeah, 3. Here we go. President Biden yesterday in New Hampshire.
My message to the people of New Hampshire is simple. It's this. Because of this delegation, New Hampshire and America are moving again. Your life is going to change for the better, and that's literal. For example, the Pemmy Bridge here, I just walked across, opened in 1939, 82 years ago. This may not seem like a big bridge, but it saves lives and solves problems. Let me tell you why. Businesses depend on it.
Yeah, I mean, it is. There are literally, whether it's levees, bridges, all across the United States that are so overdue, right, for infrastructure.
There was a recent study that came out that suggested that some 25% of infrastructure throughout America was in imminent danger. 25%. Louisiana is certainly at the top of that list of roads and bridges that have had deferred maintenance for many, many years, even notwithstanding the storms that further threaten them. Now we have an opportunity to address that. This is not a pie in the sky. And I was with the Secretary of Department of Transportation for the state of Louisiana a few days ago, and this guy's able to spit the numbers out of the bridges that we would really be in peril had it not been for the passage of the infrastructure bill. We now have a chance to really fix these things and demonstrate to the people that this is not just talk, as you mentioned a minute ago. This is real action.
And you tweeted the mayors of Louisiana's 3 largest cities are in D.C. You said the spending of the $1 trillion bill will be overseen by the former mayor of New Orleans, Mitch Landrieu, who certainly knows something about having to distribute funds after Hurricane Katrina, right?
Very fortunate to have former Mayor Mitch Landrieu, who was lieutenant governor for the state of Louisiana, mayor of New Orleans. And I was fortunate enough to serve with him as a member of the House of Representatives in Louisiana years ago. He certainly has a rich history and has the leadership and intellect to be a great person to oversee this huge amount of money that is going to be transformative for the country. Mitch Landrieu is about as good as it gets when it comes to someone that gets it, someone that understands the politics and the policy, has the intellect and the ability to communicate across multiple lines with local, state government leaders all over. This is really a home run for the country, but particularly a home run for the 2nd Congressional District in Louisiana. I couldn't be happier.
Let's listen to Chuck Schumer about the J word. Here we go.
The president's infrastructure bill can be summarized with a 4-letter word, J-O-B. Jobs, jobs, jobs. More local jobs, more good-paying jobs, more union jobs. Unions, as we know, have been a ladder up through the decades, and they will continue to be under this bill, as there will be more of them. And the jobs will put people to work on projects in every state and every community.
I mean, that's not only good news. I mean, we're already at, I don't even know, what did I say earlier, Travis, a 50-year low in terms of, job growth. I mean, these are the things that Democrats, we have to be trumpeting going into the midterms, right? It really is. When I look at just the numbers, it's incredible what this president has been able to accomplish in just a few short months.
That's exactly right. You're talking about not only jobs, but good paying jobs, sustained economic development for communities that so desperately need it. We haven't had a shot in the arm, an infrastructure like this since the creation of the interstate system by President Eisenhower. So I tell people to take a second and just think about the magnitude and the gravity of that. Since Eisenhower, we have not had this level of infusion of infrastructure dollars, which will not only build roads and bridges and infrastructure and create for monies to address climate change. People have to do these things. So these are jobs. This is empowering working families. This is making communities stronger. I'm so proud of our president for really flying low, for meeting and being hands-on, meeting with all members of both parties to really work and get this over the goal line. We're blessed to have the great leadership of President Biden, who didn't take this as something that he sat in the ivory tower on, got his hands dirty and got down and was a part of negotiations.
So here comes the question about BBB. Do you trust the Senate? Do you think this is going to get done? Obviously, Leader Pelosi says you all are going to vote on it before Thanksgiving, right?
Well,
in the House.
To send it resoundingly, at least with a majority, out of the House of Representatives, and then hope that enough people from across the country will put pressure on senators to do the right thing. This is not a partisan deal. This should not be looked at as Republican, Democrat, red or blue. We're talking about people's lives. And it's time that we get beyond some of the foolishness of the noise rhetoric of the Republican Party, who seem to think their greatest issue is to not deliver a victory for the president. And then they're ignoring the fact that this is a victory for the American people, Republican or Democrat. So I would urge our members of the Senate to do the right thing. I would urge community people to stay on their 1 yard line, write letters, make phone calls, email, text, because they respond to it. They need to know that people are paying attention.
One last question. I see the headline, U.S. Republicans move to decriminalize marijuana at the federal level. Do not let them get out ahead of you on this issue. Representative.
That is exactly right. And I tell my colleagues all the time.
Not before the midterms.
That's exactly right. There's no mystery when you see the former Speaker of the House, Boehner, is out front of legalizing marijuana. We can't let them steal an issue that's been so true and dear for Democrats.
Yeah,
so you are absolutely correct.
Well, yeah, let me just, so people that don't know, Republicans in the House introduced legislation Monday that would decriminalize marijuana at the federal level and eliminate legal hazard facing many cannabis-related businesses while regulating its use like alcohol. So this was your colleague, Nancy Mace, Republican of South Carolina, described the bill as a compromise with less onerous regulations than the measures proposed earlier by other lawmakers, including Democrats. So Chuck Schumer, I mean, obviously Democrats have put this forward, but I really feel like, because they're going to say, oh, no, this was our idea. We just did it with our we did this with our hands or whatever. But so how do you take this issue back? Because I think it's a huge issue, certainly for, the younger demographics.
I think we have to do as we've done with the BIF and what we're attempting to do with BBB. And that is continue to engage the American people and to have them be a part of the process. One of the strengths of the Democratic Party is that we are a party of the people. And I think we have to continue to take our message to the grassroots, to the communities, local, state, and federal, and own an issue that we have been way, way ahead of.
Yeah.
And not allow Republicans or anyone to steal it. We welcome them to be a part of it. We welcome them to be a part of passing what we should have passed a long time ago. But to have them out front and suggest that this is some new idea is ridiculous. And, and we're going to make sure that doesn't happen.